All right, everybody. So we're going to talk about the patterns that you are going to try to create, and hopefully that all makes sense. We'll start with the grid. So you've seen how to make horizontal lines and how to make vertical lines. Try to make the grid now, and try not to just put two loops. If you can make it one loop, and with two line functions in it to generate the grid, that would be ideal. So don't just copy and paste the two different ones together. By the way, I'm going to be checking these over. So you'll want to save each of these patterns you create in a different either part of the same file. So like just comment them out as you go. After you write a while loop and you're done, comment it out, write a new while loop, and so on. Or you can make them each a separate different sketch. And you can call them by these names if you want to. So yeah, that's up to you how you want to do that. But yeah, first one you're going to make is a grid. Try to make it with just a single while loop with two line function calls in it, and just use I to make the vertical and the horizontal lines based on what's going on there. All right, after that, you're going to try and do, I think the slanty lines will be a good one to do. So slanty lines looks like this. Loading this PNG is so hard. There we go. I don't know why my computer struggles. Whoa, slanty lines. So the story of slanty lines is basically that you're drawing from one corner all the way down. It's actually the same as a vertical line. You're just gonna shift or it could be the same as a horizontal line, depends on how you want to think of it. You're just gonna shift your second coordinate over by a certain amount. And I'm shifting over by 400, which is the width and height of my screen. Just to quickly go over that, you can stick in things like plus 400 into things. I just plug that in, and it'll just draw 400 down. If I run this, you'll kind of get something. You'll get some slanty lines, but it won't go all the way. And you might wonder why you only get half. So this is a good start. But how do you keep going? And the answer might surprise you. But basically, in order to draw in this space, like if you start here, where do you actually have to start to get these lines filled in? Like it's drawing sort of this horizontal line here, this slanty line here, this slanty line there. You actually have to start way up at the top, way above, in the negative territory. So your position of where I is going to start is going to make a big difference on that. There's different ways to do this one, but that's the most common thing. So try starting way above the top of the screen in the negative territory and then shifting it over to make the slanty lines. So you can try to make two different sets of slanty lines. There's slanty lines 1 and slanty lines 2. Check out the difference. It's just they're angled different ways. So this is the second one. This is the first one. See how they're, essentially it's just the same thing, but go in different directions. So try to make those happen with each one with a single while loop. Again, save it to different sketches or put it all in one sketch, but comment them out as you go. Once you get that going on, here's a real challenging one. This one is kind of weird, and some people just make this by accident. It's really fun. I wish I was there today, because sometimes students make this and have no idea what they did. It looks like some cool, 3D curvy thing from some 80s sci-fi movie. And what's the story with that? So basically, this is a line function. The starting point is always at 0, and it's moving across the top, going up by 20, so its x-coordinate is increasing. That's what's going on with the first xy pair. Y is always 0, x is increasing, 10, 20, 30, 40, or whatever it is. 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and so on. It's always increasing. The end point's over here, and its x-coordinate is locked this time, so it's a little bit different. The x-coordinate is locked. It's always 400, 400, 400. But what's changing in this end point is the y-coordinate. So the y-coordinate is going 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, and so on. So we have sort of that progression that's going on for the end point. So the progressions are a little bit different. The first point, y is fixed, x is changing. End point, it is x that is fixed and y that is changing. And you can make this pattern actually happen in all the different corners. That's a fantastic exercise. Can you get that curve to happen on the bottom part of the screen? Can you get it to happen in the top left corner or the bottom right corner. Always all good exercises. But you only have to do this one to get credit for having done. All right, next is the circles. So making concentric circles is fun. You'll see it's kind of a weird sort of, almost like, you can almost see like a cross that's going on. You might want to change, I think this is going down by 10 every time, but if you change it, you can get some wild patterns. So I recommend, highly recommend, trying to do something where you, decrease your eye only by 5 each time, and also, decrease it by 1 each time, and see what kind of cool looking patterns you'll get that sort of are patterns within patterns of how ellipses are drawn within processing. But the main story here is you want to start with the big circle, right? So I is starting at a big number like 400, and then it's going to decrease each time. And what's going to happen is that you're not going to stick I in the coordinates. The circle's not moving. Every circle has the same coordinates as the center of the screen. You're going to be putting I in the width and height of the circle. So every time through the loop, you're going to be changing the diameters of the circles. So make a while loop that does that. I have a variation on that. It's got random colors in it. You can use the random function to fill with a random shade of gray. Just in case you don't know how to do that, I feel like you probably do, but who knows. I'm just gonna delete this. Here's random again, so you can do like fill random 0 to 255, and that will fill with a random shade of black and white or gray, as probably will happen. If you put in 3, you can get a random color. These would be random RGBs. Not necessarily a beautiful color, but well, who's to say what a beautiful color is, really? So that's the story there. So in addition, like you're going to use the exact same code as your circle drawing one. It's just that before you draw the ellipse, you do a random fill, and you get some lovely looking stuff. You could experiment with some other things too. And then I guess I'll just close some of these. I've got a lot open. There's also the Rect one, and it's the same idea as the circles. And this is made much easier if you use Rect mode center. Let me just show you that. Rect mode center. If you do that, then your rects that you draw, the XY coordinate will be the center. So essentially you can do the same type of thing as you did with your ellipses. It's just now we're drawing rects instead. It just looks, I don't know, interesting. I just like the look of that, that pattern there. It looks like some kind of hallway that's going deep inside. I'm not too sure. But then you can also do the same trick with the rects to add in random shades of gray. I don't know if this will ever open or not. But whatever this preview program is, it's terrible. It's so slow. Should be a much better preview program. But here it is. We got randomized shades of gray as it goes down, and I think that looks just sweet. So how many patterns is that? That's 8 patterns that you're supposed to make. Try to get that done by the end of class, and I can see how you did next class. And yeah, these are pretty challenging, I suppose. I'm not sure how you'll find it, but they're all designed to be exercises to help you practice with while loops, getting better at using while loops, and I hope that works out nicely. There will be a quiz eventually on this kind of thing, where I might show you a pattern, like this pattern here, and I might ask you sort of, here are 4 while loops, which one made this pattern? And you could choose between the 4. Or maybe I'll show you some code, and then there'll be 4 possible pictures to choose which is the picture that this code draws. It'll involve some while loops. So this is really good practice and studying for that eventual quiz that'll come up. All right, well, thank you. Oh, I froze. I don't know. I guess I'm here. There's a lot of lag going on in this computer. So I'm going to get going. I hope you have a good day. It's snowing outside, at least in East Van, probably even worse at Bing. I hope it's good, and we'll see you next week, hopefully. Bye.